Hey everybody, of course, the CTO and co-founder, of course, and first of all, thanks Jose for the free presentation and introducing us to all the econ nodes. So I'm going to break down on a higher level what we do at Koris. Hopefully it's interesting to you guys, and afterwards I'll give a short demonstration of the product. Cool. Right, so from a higher level I'm going to go over some concepts. Some of you might already know some of this stuff, but just bear with me. It's just so that we can reach as many people as possible in this room. So the potential for creating decentralized companies. Decentralized companies, they can operate without traditional intermediaries. So you need centralized control, they can provide greater transparency, and there's accountability. Decentralization, it can create more equitable inclusive economic systems, allowing for participation and ownership by the stakeholders. This is really important. It includes everybody in the ecosystem to make them a part of the product or the service that you're building. Decentralized companies, as the name said, they leverage blockchain technology. So this allows you to create new models for governance. This could be using the financial aspect of it, and it also helps with collaboration as well. There's this transparency, the blockchain, you understand exactly what your participation is in real time. So the unique challenges, there's a long one in this space, there's a bit that if you're a builder, we should welcome these. So one of the things about addressing these challenges is building out a successful company in Web3, you need to have a better understanding of Web3 technology, obviously. This includes the protocols using smart contracts, decentralized storage, and any other technology stack that you think is useful to grow your product or service. The legal and regulatory environment, we all sweat at this, but it's not all bad news. Things are changing, and they're changing in a good way. There's a lot of smart people working on figuring out how to navigate this for this new industry. But being knowledgeable about it, or like trying at a higher level to understand how it's going on, how things are changing, it's important to know, especially if you're a founder building in this space. The decentralized nature of this technology, lots of security issues. And especially when it intertwines with finance, as we all have experienced over the past few months in the news, you have to be aware of it. You have to understand exactly how your technology is being built, what are the flaws, and how to mitigate these things. Extremely important. So the opportunities. So Web3, it enables the creation of open, permissionless ecosystems. And this is important because it can drive innovation and collaboration across industries, geographies, people. It creates a new system where you're allowed to engage with individuals that you might have not normally engaged with before because of your industry or your background. There is the DeFi aspect of it, which has been driving crypto for a long time. It is an important layer, and the opportunities in that layer are extremely lucrative. There's a lot of things you can do there. There's a lot of things you can build. There's a lot of things you can solve. And the main thing that's really interesting about that space is the open access. Okay, that's the whole ethos of crypto, of Web3s, the openness, being able to give access to individuals who might never have had access to that resource before. So Web3 offers new forms of value creation. We know some of them like tokenization, but there's other forms of access that, I could sit and hypothesize with you guys, but there's things that are being created this very moment that are only possible because of Web3 technology. So, that was almost unfortunate. So the essential components of a Web3 company. The main thing here I would like to drive. The other 2 points are important, but the main one I'm trying to drive is in-depth user experience, UX. You need that. That's not just a Web 3 problem. That's a Web 2 problem. That was a Web 1 problem. It will forever be an issue when it comes to any sort of a product development. So you need to understand exactly how your users navigate your product or service. So understanding this, that you don't have to come from a product background or a design background to master this. It's just all about talking to your users. Understanding exactly how they're using your app, why they're using your app or service, when they use it, and going deep into it. It's boring, it's not coding. I know, I used to hate it at first, but it's really important because it helps you build more confidence in what you're actually building so that you can build something people want. The second thing is governance structures. So this is a fairly new thing when it comes to digital products in whole, and that's what Web3 brings as well. So you have to understand that the governance structures, it enables a new form of decision making, which is really important. It's very unique for our industry. It's where the users have a say, a direct say in the product, and that can have a huge impact if understood and utilized correctly. Community building. It's the backbone of crypto. I mean, on the very first time the Bitcoins was created, it was done over just via community, and that has followed through to this point as well. So you have to understand your community, how to build it, how to nurture it, how to speak to them, how to curate it. I'm not saying that you have to take away from your community what they want, but you definitely have to make sure that the topics and the stuff that they speak about in the community helps drive their product forward. Because everybody's talking about when token go up and they want that win-win. Yeah, win-win. That's not productive. That's short-term thinking. So, a product or a service. Now, I'm speaking, this is more from a non-typical point of view. So, because I know different applications, infrastructure layers, and all that stuff, we can go into a weeds of that. But this is more just simplifying it. So, you have a Web3 product and a Web3 service. So, a product is typically like a software application or a platform that is designed to provide a set of features or functions to users. This includes things like DACs, prediction markets, peer-to-peer lending, NFT platforms, stuff like that. Web3 products, they're often categorized by the use of the blockchain technology and smart contracts that attempts to provide greater transparency, security, and trustlessness. So then you have the Web3 services. This is typically a set of ongoing activities or processes that are performed by a decentralized network of users or nodes. So this can include things like staking services, notice validation, content hosting. There's a lot more I'm missing here, but these services are often characterized by their use of decentralized storage and computing power to create more resilient and scalable systems. These may help some sort of infrastructure layer or improve it. So let's go a little bit into the governance structure aspect. Governance structures in Web3 products, and it is the process by which decisions are made by a decentralized group. That's usually the community members, users, individuals that are involved in the Web3 product or service. So DAOs, as most of the people you might know, but just for the sake of this presentation, they are decentralized autonomous organizations, and they're often used to achieve these Web3 governance aspects. And that's to democratic decision making, stakeholder involvement, just getting your community involved to push forward major proposals to improve or change the trajectory of your product or service. So, it's so on that for coach. So Web3 governance structures, they particularly prioritize transparency, accountability, and the community involvement so that you can align the network decisions with the broader interests of your community or your users. So the community building, this is a tough one because each community has their own ethos of how they build and curate their community, and this could depend on your product or service, but I guess just to go over some basic general guidelines or aspects of it will be important. So the community building it's involving the network, your stakeholders, the user, everybody has a shared common goal in whatever your Web3 product or service is. The community building is usually focused on trust, and there's a lot of trust there, and fostering collaboration so that everybody interacts with each other. They know the particular, in some communities, they know that everyone is, they know exactly who to speak to about certain things. There's a certain brotherhood or sisterhood that's involved in these sort of, in the good communities. This can be done through social media platforms or online media forums. The most common route now is Discord. Telegram too as well. So Web3 communities, they often play a critical role in driving adoption for decentralized networks and technologies. The reason why I think is those people that are advocates. They're the ones who, the unkind version is shill your product, but they're the ones who go into the different forums and speak about it and speak about the benefits, how to use your product or service to improve whatever issue or solve whatever issue you're having. This is a critical aspect of Web3. It's new, because in the Web2 world, you have to fight for feedback. There's a fight to get community engagement because users is very transactional in relationship, right? But Web3, your community members, they are effectively with you in the journey. So they're there before product market fit, before you figure out whether you're building something people want, and they join you in that entire journey. And it can be abused, but if curated correctly, you can build a powerful group of advocates that'll not only help you improve your product, but market it, which is great. So doing a token. This is controversial to some, but not all Web3 companies need a token. In many cases, there's other forms have been presented, soul wars, and with the development of like NFTs and all these new things, you can have badges and other forms of incentives that make it so that people feel rewarded for maybe the work that they do or the collaboration they do with you. So, but this is important because by fostering a more meaningful set of rewards, you reduce the short-term thinking of your community members, which is super important. You want people to stay around, even if the quote-unquote public value of your product or service goes down, like if you have a token or whatever. So you want them to stick around to the tough time to help you build your product. So tokens, they definitely have a place. So, and usually this is if you need to facilitate transactions within some sort of decentralized network or ecosystem. So this can be used to incentivize the users to contribute to the network or exchange value within the network. And then I didn't put it in the slide, but there's some really good visuals about how to navigate if you need a token or not. If you get a quick Google, they just say, do I need a token in my map? You'll find a few of them. And it's pretty good. I'd say, if you get an immediate no in that money map, you don't need a token. Yeah. Cool. So best practices for leveraging blockchain technology. So you want to develop a strong understanding of the tech and what it's capable of. This is essential. This is essential so you can make informed decisions about how to use it. how to identify the most efficient strategies and solutions for your use case. So it's really important to stay up to date as well with the latest trends and developments, because the system is moving very fast. Now, I argue it's moving faster than the ML and AI industry because this is more open source. But I don't know, that could be also debate. So it's important to stay up to that, so you know yourself, so you know exactly what's being cut, what's being improved, what you don't need anymore, what you do need, and very important. Next is once you know how bad, and by the way, you don't have to become the talent to develop a strong understanding. You just have to understand on a higher level what exactly your product needs for. What are the different stuff from the landscape that you could use to develop it? Then you have that, you can define the problem you're trying to solve. So this is a difficult one because once you go down the rabbit hole called crypto, you kind of want to apply blockchain to everything. It's really hard. I've been down there as well. But I think as long as you take a grounded approach about defining the problem and figuring out how blockchain can address it, you'll understand that blockchain is not a one-fit-all solution. There are definite places where it's important, and it's up to you to figure out what that problem is, how that coincides with that, so that you can make the correct decisions for the partner market fit. The TS partner market fit on it. So, so once you figure out that, and you define the problem, take a very grounded approach, talk to users. It doesn't have to be hundreds of them, get a small sample size, figure out what is the initial group of people who you suspect to use your product. What do they say about it? If it's a B2B product, then go down that road and talk to them. If it's a B2C product, and talk to those users. And you'll figure out right away what can you use right away to solve that issue for it. And then once you have that, identify the right blockchain platform, create needs. In my situation, I always go for the ones with the cheapest and fastest gas and transaction statistics. You don't want to onboard your users to something that they can't deal with, the roots and UX. So identify our blockchain platform and figure out how to implement it. AJ use Metis. So what is a decentralized autonomous company, a DAC? So the DAC model, it offers a governance structure that helps manage and incentivize the autonomous and decentralized communities. It's basically how you interact with your community members and how to get them involved. And it's supposed to create a more organized approach so that when they are in the DAC model, you can move fast. It's supposed to create the best of both worlds, from the traditional fast-moving startup approach, but with the decentralized nature of DAOs. It sounds interesting to do that, and it's hard to accomplish, but it's definitely possible. So they differ from DAOs by offering the fully operational company functionalities like payroll, marketing departments, messaging, and insurance one day. That's the benefits of the DAC. They also enable clear role, like delegation. You definitely have that in DAOs, but the DAC model makes it a lot more transparent. So you know exactly who to go to for certain assignments, tasks, aspects of your part service that needs to be completed, who to call in, etc. So, right, I have this to do. Submit the DAC model. So that's our Koris template. So we help you, of course, the Koris platform allows users to create and manage these DACs with a customizable governance structure. So with Koris, your DAC managers, they can easily assign tasks, vote on proposals, and manage your members, managing the funds. The platform offers templates and tools so that you can use to help users build and operate your DAC, making it accessible for both blockchain and non-blockchain companies. And make it a simple and easy to use application so you can quickly create a DAC, quickly organize it, onboard your community members, if you have Discord for fully integrated Discord, so you can use that, bring them on. And instead of jumping between different apps, what do you currently do with DAOs? You can just use the Koris platform, do your votes there, your task management there, and look at your funds for your DAC, and manage your community of members. So the examples of the different type of companies that can come on Koris, this is not the full list, but I haven't thought they'll use the part. But some of them are decentralized social networks using the governance platform that we set out. You can understand exactly who are community members, what their roles in your community, and how you utilize that best to push your social network, which is pretty incredible that you could use it the right way. Game platforms, so understanding exactly who are the important pieces in your Web3 part of your server, your Web3 part in this case, and how to organize them to try and get stuff done. Super important, especially when it comes to gaming platforms and the intense development that they need to build something fun to play. Supply chain management for more boring but very important example. So this can be used to create a transparent supply chain management service, which is really important, and depending on your application and the industry, being able to show the company that you're helping that, hey, this is who's working on it, this is what we're building for you, and this is why we're building it. It can breed a lot of trust for your clients. Right, so yeah, that's the presentation. So good luck, everybody, and join Koris. And yeah, thank you very much.